For the earliest agricultural settlements trying to take root in ancient China, the river was a constant, lethal enemy. The Yellow River is prone to massive, unpredictable flooding. When banks overflow, rushing, silt-heavy water wipes out crops and settlements in hours, making stability impossible. Early leaders spent decades trying to barricade the settlements. They built massive dikes and dams, attempting to block the currents. But the powerful floodwater consistently overwhelmed these man-made structures, violently breaking the walls and completely drowning the surrounding floodplains. Controlling this physical chaos was the ultimate prerequisite for survival. Whoever could tame the water would secure the right to lead. A man named Yu approached the problem with a different strategy. Instead of fighting the river with barricades, he decided to guide it. Over a grueling 13-year engineering campaign, Yu and his workers carved orderly stone channels, giving the floodwaters a clear path out to the sea. This network successfully drained the floodplains. The soil stabilized, and reliable, life-sustaining agricultural land emerged along the banks. For securing the region's survival, the people granted Yu the highest possible reward, the founding of the Xia Dynasty in approximately 2070 BC. By naming Yu as their king, the people established the first rule of early Chinese statecraft. Authority was a direct result of environmental mastery. In these stories, power belonged to the figure who could provide functional stability. Over the following centuries, the dynasty shifted. Kings were no longer chosen for their engineering success, but through a strict system of hereditary succession. By the time the final Xia ruler, King Jie, took the throne, the threat to the people had mutated. They no longer feared the river. They feared his sadism, demand for luxury, and senseless violence. When the ruler generates the chaos, a civilization faces a crisis of legitimacy. The justification to end that crisis came from a defining political philosophy, Tianming, or the mandate of heaven. The mechanics were clear. Heaven grants a king the right to rule, but if that king descends into moral decay, the cosmos falls out of balance and heaven revokes his authority. This bronze ritual vessel belongs to the Shang, a frontier state that utilized superior metallurgy to rise up, defeat King Jie, and claim the throne. The Shang conquest established that political power is conditional. If a dynasty sows moral chaos, heaven will empower a rebellion to replace them. Archaeologists have found virtually no physical evidence, no ruins, no contemporary inscriptions, to prove that the Xia dynasty, Yu or King Jie, ever existed. It appears that a much later empire, the Zhou dynasty, actively promoted and likely fabricated this epic narrative. The Zhou had recently staged their own rebellion against their predecessors. By projecting the story of the Xia backwards in time, they created a historical precedent to validate their own coup under the mandate of heaven. Whether the Xia actually existed is secondary to how the story functioned. It was a political necessity, engineered to establish the rules of the dynastic cycle for the next 3,000 years. While the Xia might be a philosophical myth, the people the Zhou overthrew were terrifyingly real. The Shang dynasty left behind a rich, verifiable record of brutality. This is an ancient oracle bone. The Shang kings etched pictographs onto turtle shells like this one to predict the future, relying on ritual divination and human sacrifice to communicate with heaven. How did the Shang use blood, bronze, and bone to build China's first undisputed empire? We cover that in the next episode.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to NovaMind for more inspiring thoughts and ideas.